The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of ParaX, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
It's coming.
All these voices. All these voices.
They're not yours. You had no right to them when you were alive, and you have no right to them when you're dead.
That's what it sounded like.
Good, you know who I am. And you know I'm not playing. You're going to let those women go. In Jesus' name, you're going to let those women go.
Is there a demon here watching us right now? I'm just watching this right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Staring into the Abyss. I am your host, horror author James Hershey Jr., and with me, as always, my co-host, old boy James Ash. How you doing, brother?
What is up? Misfits, sugar ladies, monster lovers, and demon hunters. Good evening.
Tonight's episode ought to be a pretty interesting one. On tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about the UFO hearings that are taking place and kind of getting into that a little bit about what they're talking about there and a lot of the theories that are kind of going around about what this might be. The basic sentiment to start off with by most people is, so what? They're having the UFO hearings and most of the public is like, big deal. We already know. You know what I mean? You've just been denying it for years and years and years, but we already know. So that's the basic sentiment. But you have multiple theories that are going around. Before I get into the theories, I want to talk a little bit about what they're saying at the hearings. The government hasn't come right out and said there are UFOs. But this guy who is a whistleblower from the government is saying that there are. Okay, so we don't have an official government statement that's saying that, but the whistleblower from the government is saying that UFOs exist, that we have some that we have recovered from crash sites, and that we have what he calls biologics that we have collected from the crash sites as well. So that would lead you to believe that means aliens. So he's also claiming he's scared for his life, and that there's more that could be revealed, but he's afraid to reveal it. So that's the basic gist of what's going on at the hearings. So let's get a little bit into some of these theories. The first theory I want to talk about is that the UFOs are real, but they are not alien. That instead it is our own military's technology that is top secret. I've heard this quite a bit from people. And I can put this one to rest fairly easily. Okay, but before I do, let me first say that the United States of America is the most technologically advanced nation on the face of the earth. We have the greatest military ever in the history of the planet. So if anybody on Earth were going to have UFO technology as military technology that we developed, it would be us. But I don't think it is, and I'll tell you why. And it's a common sense answer that it's going to, once you hear it, it's really going to make sense to you. Think about all of these reports that we've gotten by the military of these UFOs. These things are flying really close to passenger jets, like airlines, and they are flying really close to a lot of our military aircraft, like the F-16s, the F-15s, the Raptors, all those planes. They're flying super close to them, and they're kind of leading them on a little chase and then disappearing. Now here's the question that you have to ask yourself that will shoot this theory down. If the technology for UFOs was developed by us, if those are our UFOs out there, flown by our people, why would they be flying so close to multi-million-dollar aircraft, in some cases billion-dollar aircraft, with our best pilots in them. Now, you know that every year there are accidents. Every year you got a plane that goes down because of a training exercise that went wrong. And that's a tremendous loss because those things cost a lot of money. But even worse than the plane is when the pilot is lost, because that represents a skill set that is not widely available. That represents a long, long time of training somebody to get them to that point. Putting them through basic, putting them through flight school, putting them through like Top Gun type training, and then the years and years of experience that those people gather flying real world missions. All of that can be lost if an accident happens. So why would you fly these things within feet of our aircraft? That makes no sense. There's no way that we would do that. Okay, if it's a top secret program in the United States, they're going to know where all of the other military aircraft are. That information's available. They would know it. And they would make sure that they are somewhere else. They would make sure that where they're testing and where they're flying is nowhere near where we have aircraft in the air. They just wouldn't risk losing the pilots and losing billions of dollars worth of aircraft. They just wouldn't. So that little bit of logic, that question, once you answer that, you'll realize that there's no way they're ours. They can't be ours. So, if they're not ours, who else on the planet would have the capability to build these things? Nobody. We are the most technologically advanced nation on Earth. There's nobody that is more advanced than we are. So there's no way that these belong to anybody else. So if they don't belong to us, and they don't belong to anybody else, who do they belong to? That's the question. Now, I'm not giving you answers tonight. Okay, I know a lot of times I come on here and I'll give you the answer to things. But on this one, it's common sense. You know, once you answer the questions for yourself, you'll have a better understanding of the subject matter, and you will come to your own conclusion, which is what we always want you to do. We always want you to make up your own minds. Okay? So that's theory number one. Theory number two is that none of this is real, and it's just a distraction. You get this from the ultra-political type people, that everything in the world revolves around politics for these people. And their claim is that UFOs don't exist, that it's all make-believe as a distraction from what's going on in the White House. And that's as far as I'll get into it. I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of all the politics of it, because people get butthurt over that stuff. I would say to that, probably impossible. How many reports do we have of UFOs? Dating all the way back to Roswell. How many reports by reputable people, by trained military people, by airline pilots, by police officers, okay, doctors, people that are reputable people, people that are not some hillbilly out in the woods that doesn't know anything, okay? And that's no knock on hillbillies. I am one, okay? I live out in the woods. I am a redneck. So, believe me, I'm not insulting anybody. But it's not like Joe Bob over here says, man, you never believe what I saw last night. That's not what's happening here. You got people that have a hell of a lot to lose, reputation-wise, if they're coming out and making up a story like that. So, I'll let you answer that question for yourself as well. Do you think that there would be thousands and thousands and thousands of UFO sightings by military personnel, police officers, doctors, lawyers? Well, lawyers, you can't trust lawyers, but, you know, doctors. Well, shit, you can't trust doctors anymore either, really. military personnel and police officers, let's say it that way, people that their job is to observe, do you think that they would go out and tell some fantastic tale like that if it wasn't true? Do you think that out of the tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of UFO sightings that there's been, that people have reported and documented, that every single one of them is BS, and that somehow all of that is linked up in some massive conspiracy that they've been working on since 1945 or something, right? All of that was just to try to distract from the old ding-dong Biden in the office. Do you really believe that? Doesn't hold water. That dog don't hunt. So I don't think it's that either. As I said before, you make up your own mind, but I think anybody can see that that's silly. Next theory. That UFOs exist, that the sightings are real, but that aliens are not just biological life forms from another planet, that they are in fact demons. I've heard this one as well. Now this one you're getting into some kind of dangerous territory. Because whenever politics are involved, or whenever religion is involved, people get their feels up a little bit. They get a little wrapped up in it. So the theory goes that the UFOs are actually demons. The aliens inside the UFOs are actually demons. And another part of this theory is that they're going to be used for a great deception. And on a lot of these videos, when these people talk about this idea, they quote the Bible. Okay, they're quoting like 2 Thessalonians and some bits out of the book of Revelations. And I'm not going to go into the specific verses and everything like that because this isn't a Bible show. But I will tell you that the verse that they're quoting from 2 Thessalonians is talking about a great deception that is going to be put forth in the end days on mankind. And that God will harden their hearts. That is not talking about UFOs. That's actually talking about the Antichrist. And that he will deceive the world into thinking that he is Jesus come back. That's not talking about aliens. Okay? Clear that up. There's also, I've seen people talking about different verses out of Revelations, talking about the river Euphrates drying up, and the different seals and trumpets that have been blown and all this kind of stuff. To those people, I would say, not possible. Because we're all still here. The rapture hasn't happened yet. And the tribulation period comes after the rapture. Now, you'll have a lot of argument with Christians in that. Some are pre-trib, some are post-trib, some are mid-trib rapture people. But I'm telling you, for my money, it's pre-trib. And there's a ton of different reasons. And if you want to know all those reasons and you really want to get into that, watch my End Time series that I did on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/James Hershey Jr. I do a whole episode on the rapture. And I run through the entire end times, from the rapture to the tribulation period, the mark of the beast, the Antichrist, millennial kingdom, all of it. And it is an hour long, just about, of pure Bible verses, and it's literally a Bible study, is what it is, that you can go through and learn all about this, and all about the timing of everything. And in that episode, I explain why it has to be a pre-tribulation rapture, and why the mid-tribulation and post-tribulation raptures are wrong. Okay, I'm not going to get into it here, because literally it would take the rest of the show to go through all of the verses and explain everything again. But if you want to see it, go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/James Hershey Jr. Shameless plug number 2, 2 in 5 minutes. I'm an unbelievable legend at plugging. Okay, listen. Let's get off that subject. But pre-trib has to be, okay? Go check out the video on the YouTube channel about the rapture. You'll see it for yourself. I'll prove it to you there. Don't have time now. So I would say all those verses that they're giving you from the book of Revelations don't really have any bearing on today because we're not there yet. Okay? They're claiming that different things from the tribulation period have already happened. And there's no way because the rapture hasn't happened. We're not in the tribulation period yet. I know things suck right now, but we're not there yet. Okay? So, that clears that bit up. But there's an interesting little side note to this conspiracy that really got my brain working. And it might actually be possible. Let me talk about that a minute. Now, for those of you who don't know anything about the Bible, okay, if you're not Christian, if you never studied the Bible, I will try to make this as easy to understand as possible. For those who do know about the Bible and have studied, you'll kind of catch where I'm going before I get there. So just be patient and we'll get there. Remember, not everybody has the knowledge that you have. So you got to kind of teach at the slowest level. You see what I'm saying? So, here we go. The part of the theory is that once the rapture happens and millions of Christians disappear off the earth, that's going to really freak people out. Okay, that's going to be the start of the tribulation period. That's when the Antichrist will emerge and try to calm the world. And he'll fool them into thinking he's a man of peace and a man of love and everything's a kumbaya moment for a little while. But because all those people disappeared, the rest of the world's going to be freaking out. Now just imagine, okay, imagine you don't know anything about the Bible. Imagine none of this exists, right? You just wake up one day and all of a sudden, millions of people just disappeared. They're just gone. You know, they were driving their car, boom, they're gone. And the car smashes into a wall or something. You know, they were flying a plane and all of a sudden, whoop, they're gone. Plane crashes. We're talking mass chaos, panic. People are going to be freaked out. Now, the theory says that after the rapture happens, that the Antichrist is going to use the alien thing as an excuse why all the Christians disappeared. They state that he's going to claim that aliens have abducted the Christians. All of these people have been abducted away by aliens using some sort of weaponry that we don't understand. And he's going to use that excuse to explain why we're all gone. But I'm going to tell you, it wasn't aliens. Okay? If someday in the future, I'm doing a show and I just disappear, or your mother or father who goes to church every Sunday and who's a Bible-believing Christian, they all of a sudden just disappear, and you don't understand why, it wasn't aliens. Okay, we're with Jesus. Jesus called us up. That's called the rapture. We are gone. And if you're still there, that means you're not saved. And if you're not saved, that means you're about to witness hell on earth. Okay, you're going to have 3.5 years of relative peace. It's going to be all right. You know, there will be some things that happen, but it won't be horrible. But then in the middle of that 7-year period, the Antichrist is going to get assassinated. He's going to be dead for 3 days. Then he's going to rise again to mock Christ. When he does, it's no longer the man that was there. It is now the beast. Things really get bad then. Okay, you're going to have a mark of the beast instituted that if you don't take the mark, you'll be killed. You're not going to be able to buy or sell or do anything without it. And if you're a Christian in those times, if you're somebody that was left behind and you come to Christ after, you can't take that mark because you will go to hell. You're going to have to die. If you want to hear all about that, YouTube channel, youtube.com/James Hershey Jr. End Time Series, Mark of the Beast. I got a whole 7-episode series that goes into every aspect of it. You got to check it out. Learn all about it if you don't know. But that's what the excuse is going to be. that aliens have abducted us, and he's going to claim to be able to communicate with these people somehow or something, and he's going to make a peace treaty with them, and it's going to be all gravy, and everybody's going to be happy. That's the theory. Now, they wrongly claim that's the Great Deception, which that's not what it means. They also claim that, and this is one that it's kind of in the weeds for people that aren't Bible people, but I gotta talk about it a little bit, just a little bit, because it's important. They also claim that the Fauci ouchie was the mark of the beast. Okay, some of these same people are claiming these things too. It's a different theory, but it's the same people. That was the mark of the beast, and that if you took it, then that will cause the Holy Spirit to leave your body if you're saved, and you will go to hell. There's a couple parts to this little extra theory they have, and I want to break them down because they're very, very important. First of all, that's BS. That's not the mark of the beast. Not a good idea. I wouldn't do it. I didn't do it. But not the mark of the beast. Secondly, it doesn't cause the Holy Spirit to leave your body. The Bible states that once you're saved, the Holy Spirit is sealed inside of you until the day of redemption. Now, sealed means it ain't coming back out. Nothing's going to shoot that thing out of there. Once you're saved, you're saved. You are forgiven for your sin. Not because you're a good person, but because you can't do it for yourself, and you decide to trust in Jesus. Okay? So that part of the theory, complete garbage. The second part is that Fauci ouchie is inserting the mark of the beast into you. And that they call that, they say the way they can justify that is they call it the abomination of desolation. They claim that somehow by putting the mark, which is that thing, right, that I just said 100 times that I shouldn't say anymore because I'll get in trouble, into your body, you are allowing the mark into your body. And they call that the abomination of desolation. Now, any of my Bible-believing Christians out there that know your Bible know that that's complete hogwash. The abomination of desolation is when the Antichrist sits on the throne in the rebuilt temple in Jerusalem, where the Holy of Holies was before it was destroyed. They rebuild it in the end times. And he goes there, and he sits upon that throne and declares himself God. That is the abomination of desolation in the Bible. Has nothing to do with the Fauci ouchie. Has nothing to do with the mark. Okay? These are people that know a little bit of biblical terminology, and they try to get clicks or views. Or maybe they heard somebody else doing a video on it, and they think, ooh, yeah, that sounds good, I'm going to do that. And they believe it, but they don't know their Bible. Okay? These people are deceiving you. It's all BS. Don't listen to it. It's garbage. Okay? Want to clear that up. That's the second theory that has to do with the Bible. Now, the part of this that I said kind of got my brain going and made me think was, could this be setting up? Because I believe we're close to the end times. I believe we're close to the rapture. I don't know when it's going to be, but I think we're close. So, could this coming forward and kind of showing that UFOs exist, could that be setting the stage to use that as an excuse when the rapture happens? Maybe. That makes sense to me. That tracks. You know, that's possible. I'm not saying that there are no aliens. I'm not saying that that's what aliens are, or that aliens are demons, or any of that other stuff. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, could they use the idea of aliens as an excuse to why everybody disappeared from the rapture? That's an interesting one. And I can't say no, because it's one of those kind of things you can't prove until it happens, you know. But certainly a good idea. They're going to need some kind of excuse. Because they sure as hell aren't going to say, oh, well, all those people disappeared because Jesus called them up. It was the rapture. And all you idiots listen to popular culture and what we told you. And you've been deceived and now you're screwed. Now you got to sit through the tribulation period or hell on earth. And you just got to hope that you can come to Christ before the end of this thing or you're donezo. They're not going to say that. Of course they're not going to say that. They need some sort of excuse, some sort of reason they can give that people will buy. They have to keep the deception going. So that seems like a very plausible one, especially if you kind of build it up in the news beforehand. And anybody that is awake, anybody who has eyes to see, will tell you that the news is nothing more than propaganda. They're setting a narrative every day. It has absolutely nothing to do with truth. It's all about setting up a narrative for you to believe what they want you to believe. And anybody who's awake knows that. So would it be such a shock to think that maybe that's what they're doing here? To think that maybe they're using the whole UFO thing as cover to say, well, it was aliens, man. That's why all those people disappeared. Because aliens came and got them. And they might give some stupid reason why that doesn't make any sense, but they have a bunch of people in white lab coats who claim to be scientists say that that's what it is. And then you got all the same dummies that were doing it before saying, trust the science, even though they don't even understand the science, right? It happened already. What makes you think it won't happen again? Especially because a lot of the people that didn't go along with that BS aren't going to be here no more. Remember, we got raptured out. You're not going to have good old Uncle James here to say, hey, this is BS, guys. They're lying to you. That's not what the science is. This is what the science is. You're not going to have people like me anymore. Because I'm going to be gone. All you're going to have left is the godless. And a lot of those people fell for it last time. They were the ones yelling at you to wear your mask. Remember that? Wear your mask. Even though the science clearly states, dozens of studies, that thing can't stop a virus. The weave pattern, 60 microns. Guess how big that old virus was? 1 micron. Uno. Eins. 1. That's it. So basically, mask, virus. Right through the holes, baby. Like it wasn't even there. But these people, man, they got on your booty, didn't they? Kick you out of places. You're not allowed to come in here. Why? Because we're smart. We know the science. No, you don't. You're dumbasses. You don't know anything. All you know is what the guy on TV with the nice hair told you. And now you're telling everybody you know that like you know something and you don't know nothing. That's the failing of human beings. Everybody wants to be an expert. Everybody wants to believe that they know the answer. But when the answer is right in your face, you don't look at it. I hate to tell y'all, but all this stuff was written down long, long ago. Over 2,000 years ago, written on a book. It's called your Bible. It talks about all this stuff. The Bible talks about beware of sorcerers and sorcery. People hear that and they think Harry Potter. They think Lord of the Rings. Woo, magic wand. But did you know that the Greek word, remember it was translated from into English? The Greek word is pharmakia. That's the word for sorcery, for magic in Greek. Do you know that's where pharmaceuticals come from? That's where our word pharmacy comes from? Is that word? Beware, huh? All the answers are there if you know how to look for them. But anyway, this is getting dangerous here, man. It's kind of veering off into the direction of a Bible study, and I don't want that to happen because I don't want to lose some of you. So, those are the major theories. And you got little wingbat theories too. That you got theories of people that say that aliens, in this particular theory, it's the reptilians, that they've taken over the planet and that they actually run everything. And a lot of the leaders of the countries are actually reptilians in disguise. And they point to, of all things, a Simpson episode where they pull the mask off the two candidates in a debate and they're both reptilians. And they say, well, the Simpsons have been right about a lot of things. Well, yeah. But it's not because they have some kind of crystal ball. It's something called predictive programming. It's part of the magical rites where they're going to do magical spells, and they need to tell you first to make it more powerful. So they show you in movies and TV and things like that what they're going to do. And then when it happens, you were warned, right? They showed you plain as day on The Simpsons. They showed you plain as day in this movie or that movie, and you just didn't see it. So that's what all that is. But anyway, I'm going to throw over to Old Boy, and I'm going to let him give his opinion. I'm sure it'll be much, much different than mine. And we'll see where we go from there. I'll be back afterwards, and we'll wrap up. Old Boy, go ahead, brother.
So the show's going to be about what's going on with the testifying of the whistleblower about aliens being existing and UFOs being existing. I know you guys have been watching it the last couple weeks. Now it's actually coming out. I saw AOC, for all people, was talking to the guy for a couple minutes. I actually got to see the video about that. And she was asking questions, and he said he couldn't answer because there's reasons. Because even though he's talking to Congress, that a certain part of government he thinks is going to take him out because he's talking too much. And that's as far as I got with that. I watched a little more of it before. I know it's been going on lately. I know it's a popular thing. And the government now hasn't said yes or no that they exist. They haven't 100%. Some people are saying they haven't. Not. They're saying there's a possibility. They haven't 100% said nothing. And what I've been seeing is, like, supposedly this guy said that they've known about it for a while. Aliens do abduct people and do horrible things, and not all of them, but some of them do. He also said paranormal and other things exist, but he didn't say too much about that. But he did talk about the aliens. I know there's another person there. It's coming out. I've been hearing rumors of that. It may not be true. I don't know yet. But this whistleblower is very scared, and he told the House, I think it was the House of Representatives that was talking to them, that he was scared he could only say so much. But he is coming out saying that aliens exist. This is somebody who's actually in the government. There's actually people who have been in other formerly, and Marines and Air Force generals and even NASA people, and even people who walked on the moon who've gone into space have said they have seen. I think Neil Armstrong actually claims he's seen aliens when he was there. Neil Armstrong. I think it's Neil Armstrong. I might be getting his name wrong. I know it's Armstrong. I don't know if it was Neil or... a couple other guys said that they seen aliens. The story of the dark side of the moon, that we were told to stay away from a certain side of the moon and Mars. There's stuff coming out about Mars now. And all I'm going to say is I'm going to give my opinion in a minute. What I've been watching, I'm not surprised. We've been talking about this stuff for years. Me and James have. James can't say anything. And that's all we're going to say. And I'm not going to say too much. All I'm going to tell you is my opinions. I know, why would this guy say anything like this, knowing he can probably get killed? And that is something that is very possible. If I was this guy, I would have thought twice before I whistleblow, but hey, some people have bigger fucking balls than a lot of people do. Because this guy's jeopardizing a lot of things in his life, his family, him. And I'm not going to say any more about that. We'll leave it at that. And sorry guys, I'm getting messages. If you see me hit my thing, just ignore it. And all I'm going to say is this. I don't know why they keep trying to hide it. And the funny thing is, people are there's so much stuff going on. It's like, I think people are finally realizing we're not alone, but some people still want to believe it's fake. I even seen it. Oh, the government's pulling fake alien thing. Dude, knock it off. This stuff's been going on for hundreds of years. There's proof even before that. You know what? A lot of people are in denial. And I understand you're scared. It's going to change everything that you've ever believed. And I don't understand. Dude, look how many planets there is. Look how many universes, millions of universes, million parts of space. Come on. Really get to reality. I'm just saying it's mathematically impossible for us to be the only thing. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's almost. Almost 99% we're not the only things in this universe. And we weren't here first. You could say whatever you want. I get it. You can say, I know people are going to be in the comments. Blah, 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 blah. I get it. Whatever. That's your belief. That's fine. It's coming out now. Stuff happened in Vegas a couple months ago. You know, they're trying to hide that. They have video of it. People are, oh, it's fake. Every time it's always fake. What's going to happen when they come out and actually come out? People are going to say demons. They're evil. Dude, I know people are afraid, and there comes the demon thing and this and that. You know what? If they're real, they're real. I don't think they're going to come in spaceships and UFOs. They don't need to do that. If they're already... They don't even need to do that. That's a different kind of power. We'll leave it at that. Now, this gentleman, I'll be honest with you, like I said, after all this is said and done, if there's more people, this ain't going to be able to go away anymore. They were trying to get this away, and it's out now. They've been trying to hide this for a couple months. Now it's come out. Now he's actually talking to Congress. They're kind of saying they're investigating it. They're not going to say yes or no. Eventually, they're going to come here, and we're not going to be able to stop it. They don't care anymore. They're just sick of it. They don't care. They're going to do what they want. You remember Alien Nation? That's how it's going to be soon. And the crazy thing is, we have made it where we have fought aliens for years. The last 60 years, we've made movies and stuff about aliens destroying us. What do you think? If they're real, they saw this. We already have a bad opinion. Like we do everything. We judge things and we don't even know. And I ain't going to lie. There probably is bad, good, neutral, who don't care. Things are going to change soon. Very, very soon. And TV, you can't always say it's going to be, you know, hey, Hollywood, it's just fake, the government, it's coming. And I think this is going to change a lot of things. People right now are in shock and don't want to believe it. And that's fine, but you're going to be made to believe soon. That's all I'm going to say about this situation. I think there's going to be more stuff coming out down the line. They're not going to keep hiding this stuff, guys. Eventually, they're just going to come on TV, and you're going to start seeing stuff, and we're not going to be able to stop it. People are talking about this more than you think. People are worried about this more than you think. They might be pretending about it, but they are. They don't know what to do. Because there's already all kinds of crazy stuff going on in this world, guys. But do remember, dinosaurs existed. They have the fossils. They were real. I'm not saying they are 100% gone, but they were real. We have the proof of that. We don't 100% know. Everybody thinks it's an asteroid. Most people do. Some people don't. It's biblical or whatever religion they believe. I meant to say most, not all. It's about 50-50 split on that. Evolution, some people believe that, but something happened. Something happened thousands of years ago. And we're going to hopefully finally find the truth out what really happened and how we were made. And it's going to change a lot of people. It's a crazy world we're living in now. That's all I'm going to say. I think a lot of people got to realize it's evil and crazy. It's not. we're just seeing everything because we have video cameras. Stuff was going on like this for years. The wild, wild west was people were dying all the time. We're just seeing it now because technology is just so much better now. It's going to even get better. Some like criminals, they don't even care anymore. They know they're getting watched. They just don't care anymore. But you should. When these things come out, it's going to be different than what you think. They probably don't look exactly like we portrayed. We just got people's visions, and there's some truth to these visions because I think some of these people who made, like, I think that Orson Welles movie, wasn't it War of Wars, War of Worlds, or whatever? And I'm going to tell you something. I think he got a hand of something, or got told a story by somebody who was in the military, just never told the truth about it. I believe a lot of this stuff is, a lot of movies, and I've talked to people who do movies, they said some of it's true. It's just either they were told something, just like Frankenstein, there's a truth to that. Dracula, there's a truth to that. Demons, there's a truth to that. Everything has a truth, guys. What if everything we thought wasn't real is really real? To a point. And just think about it, guys. All the things you thought were not real may be real. Maybe like Lord of the Rings, there's a truth to that. Because there's some proof that they think that he made some of this off, not just off of his mind, of stuff he was told. I will tell you a story I was told by a guy who was a singer of a choir. He told me vampires were real. And this was like 15, 20, no, not 15, about 16, 17 years ago, 20 years ago. And this guy was serious, dead serious. He said he had seen them. I've heard it from Father Malachi, who was on Art Bell's show, that vampires existed and they weren't what you thought. They're different. Werewolves also. And I'm just bringing this up, aliens, Bigfoot. What if they're all connected? What if we were sitting here and all this stuff, I know movies and stuff, but all this fantasy, there's a truth to it. That it metaphorically came to life. We make stuff come to reality. It becomes reality. Just like, Slender Man manifested itself to be reality. But then there was some truth to it. It was supposed to be a fairy. Evil giant fairy in the woods of Germany. There's, that's what the folk tales are. So there's always a truth to something. And I will tell you this. I want to do a show about Antarctica, and it's coming soon. This will open up we always do shows, we'll open up for other shows. And I know we'll be doing something else about this again. But Antarctica is something where I know that's going to be more than one show. It could be like 20 shows. And that's something I'm going to tell you, James, we need to do. And I know we're doing something next week, but maybe in the next couple weeks we need to do something about Antarctica, because that's a big topic right now. A lot of stuff on TikTok, and I know a lot of it's bullshit, because a lot of fucking people are just making every fucking thing about a conspiracy theory of some monster coming out of the ground. Just like the dragon. That one video with the dragon, that shit looked real. I don't know. We'll leave it at that. But I'm telling you guys, there's stuff that's real that we can't ever explain, and we never will. Look at what I deal with and James deals with. Everything we deal with doesn't mean it's a demon or it's a ghost or evil spirit. Shadow people, we don't know what they are. The man in the hat, we don't know what they are. All we know is they're not good. Their stuff maybe it's another dimension. Just like Stranger Things, guys. What if this stuff is real? Why do you think so many things are going crazy? Maybe in reality, like they said in the 80s and 90s, we messed with time and we're in another dimension. Look how stuff has gone weird. Like I said, and I'm going to tell you this, guys. I've said this before. Before 2000, remember, everybody was worried about Y2K and all that stuff. I was in the middle of nowhere doing a job. I think I told this a couple months ago. And I remember it got real foggy. It was cold, but it was in the middle of the desert in Barstow, for all god fucking places. But I felt like something was changing. And I saw this weird fog come like everything. And you know, it's so crazy since that all this stuff has gone the fucking out of its mind. Since 2000, shit has gone out of its mind. In the 90s, it was starting, but now it's just fucking crazy. UFO sightings, all the conspiracy theories, all the presidential stuff that's going on, all the bullshit, all the rioting, all the political stuff. You know, the Mandela effect, all this shit, all these sightings of creatures and stuff. If something crazy's going on. Or maybe it's just what it's supposed to happen. It's going to be a fucking crazy experience. And I'm going to be just like, we've been warning you. We've been warning you. And whatever you believe and whatever, that's going to be put to the test. And I know James is going to have a different opinion. That's fine. He's open to it. Just wait. I'm just going to sit here and told you so. But we all can agree there's something crazy going on with the alien. This is what we're talking about, UFOs, aliens. Unidentified phenomenon, they're saying, I forget what it's called, something phenomenon. I forget, they have a new name for it. That the government's talking and stuff like that. They're not going to admit that they exist. I mean, they have jet fighters going after them. They have people who are in the military admitting it. I mean, come on, dude. I mean, I get it. You're afraid to tell the truth because there's something going on. You don't want us to tell us that maybe we're working for them, or maybe we can't say nothing, or they're going to kill us. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're going to just kill us. And we don't have the technology to take them on. Even it's highly advanced, they can just blow us away, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe we're just their pawns, and we do what they tell us to do. And that's a possibility. Maybe that we're just scared. If we tell people what's going to happen, maybe they're just sick of us destroying ourselves, because it seems like we do this too much. We're fighting to killing everything in sight. We're even killing our population. Even in China, they're losing population. We're losing population. I mean, there's 800, I think there's almost 7.9 billion people, but now they're saying it's starting to, even China's losing people. India, I think, is gaining people, so that's why we're still almost at 8 billion people, or around 8 billion. It's almost there. It's coming. But maybe that there's just too many people here. I know Eli Musk said that there isn't, but because we be honest, 95% of the ocean hasn't been, searched. And there's a reason, because there's stuff there too. That's another show we need to do, is what the hell's down in the ocean. We know we done the trench, but I want to talk about all the ocean. The blip, the giant monster that lives there, the Leviathan, whatever you want to call it, the Cthulhu. I know I'm messing that name up, Lovecraft, but there's a lot of truth to Lovecraft. That's another show I want to do. Thank God I'm getting like 3 or 4 shows we can do now. Lovecraft was crazy. A lot of Sumerian things, a lot of crazy stuff going on there. I loved his books and his movies. Evil Dead. Want to hear something like, the Evil Dead, the Book of the Dead was kind of like the Lovecraft stuff. Has a lot of prelude to that. There's a lot of movies. The Call of the Cthulhu. The Cthulhu. I can't say the name, guys. I'm probably butchering it. I know there's like a couple other movies, but the Lagoon, the Lagoons, or Lagoon, or whatever, I forget. It's kind of like that. I'm messing these names up, guys. You know how I am. I'm horrible with fucking names, dude. But it was kind of like these weird creatures. And they were crazy. Lovecraft is just different world, guys. And look how long ago that was. But he was also, I think he was a fucking bigot, so that's the only thing that sucks about him. I hate bigots. I don't know if that's true. I've heard some of that. And that could be like, rumor or bullshit like always, but you know what? He wrote some crazy stuff. I hate bigots, though. So if he is, fuck him. But the stories are crazy. And I'm just going to tell you, the alien thing I think is real. I think this is true. I think James knows it's true. He's not going to argue the whole the whole thing that's going on in Congress right now. I think that's one thing we can 100% agree on. It's real. I know some of you people are not going to do it. That's fine. Leave your comments. Always leave what you guys think. We live you can say whatever you want. We're never going to get mad. Unless you argue and fight and say crazy ass shit that doesn't make any sense, or you have some fucked up theory. That's fine. You can believe that, but come on, dude. It's just sometimes some people go a little too far. And I get it. You know, you hear a lot of things and you want to believe it. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. You got your opinions and that's it. Unless it comes out and dances in your fucking face, then you'll change it. You will. Watch. I'm telling you, things are going to change soon. And maybe not right at this moment. I think it's another couple years. Right now, stuff's starting to happen. But I think it's going to full blown in a year or two. You're going to see more and more crazy, especially 2024. I have a feeling some crazy shit's going to happen. Especially at the end of the year and the beginning of 2024. Plus the election at the end of the year. So 2025 is going to be even crazier. But you watch. Mark my fucking words. Things are going to get crazier than you think it is now. And more shit's coming out. They're going to have more stuff. You're going to have UFOs coming to your fucking house. You ain't going to be able to, oh, that's not real. That can't be. It's not real. Well, yes, it is real. It's getting, they're not lying about it. Even other governments have already said they're real. France, China, all these other governments are saying it's real. Why would they lie? It seems like unless America says it's real, it's not. I'm sorry to say this, you know, they believe it. They're not lying about it. Russia's totally a belief. I know we're mad at Russia, but even before that happened, he's been saying the aliens have existed. China has said it. In numerous times. France, there's other countries have said it. Now, our country, for some reason, it just don't want to admit to it. It just won't. They'll even if it come out and start talking, they'll still try to throw a flip on it, saying it's something else. Sorry, guys, it's gonna come out. I don't care what anybody says, it's coming. May not this time. They'll throw it under the rug or make excuses about it, like everybody does. But it's coming, and there ain't going to be anything to do about it. You're not going to be able to lie about it or change it or argue it and say that's not what's true. It's coming. I don't know what to tell you. It's coming, guys. I don't know if it's going to be an invasion where they're going to kill us, but they're coming. They may even migrate here in the next 10 years. I don't know that for a fact. I just have an idea about that. And that's where it's going to really get fucking crazy. So that's just my opinion, guys. I hope you guys like it. If you don't, leave your opinions. Tell me what you think in the comments. We always like to hear feedback, guys. I love you. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Always leave your comments. Always subscribe on James Hershey's YouTube page. James Hershey Jr. Check it out. Check us out on Facebook, Spotify, and even Parax Radio every Sunday nights at 12 a.m., 9 Pacific. And the best of at 8 p.m., Eastern, 5 Pacific. Sorry, guys. Got how to get that out. You guys want merchandise, shirts, hats, beanies? James will tell you where to go. Check us out. We're getting bigger and bigger every week. We're getting better and better ideas. We're more extreme than ever. I hope you guys fucking like this episode. You guys leave your comments and let us know what you think. It's summertime, the hottest time of the year. It's August now, guys. So I hope you guys are enjoying your summer. Be careful. Be safe. Be careful, be safe, misfits, sugar ladies, monster livers, demon hunters. I fucking love you. And blessed be.
Thank you, brother. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Hope y'all enjoyed it. There's one thing I wanted to talk about with the demon thing, right? The demon, that aliens are actually demons, that I didn't remember to talk about when I was talking. And I've got a couple minutes here, so I'll be quick. The Bible in Genesis 6 talks about angels coming down and mating with women. And their offspring were the giants. And in that verse kind of starts to explain what I'm about to tell you. You can also look at the book of Enoch. It tells you a hell of a lot more information about it. Basically what a demon is, and if you want a detailed description of this, YouTube channel, youtube.com/James Hershey Jr. That's like, what, 4 or 5? I don't know how many plugs at this point. So many. What are demons and where do they come from? That's the name of the episode. Check that out. It is a massively awesome episode. Gives you so many answers that you've wondered your whole life. You got to watch that thing. I'm going to nutshell it here, right? Try to condense it. Basically what a demon is the disembodied spirit of a giant. Giants. Part angel, part human. Okay? From its daddy, the angel, it gets a spirit. From its mother, human, it gets a body. But only God can give you a soul. And these things were abominations, so God did not give them souls. So they have a spirit, they have a body, they have no soul. Therefore, when they die, their spirit wanders the earth as a demon. That's what it is in a nutshell. Like I said, that episode I'm telling you about, what are demons, where they come from, go watch that sucker on the YouTube channel. It is amazing. It is the greatest Bible study you've ever heard on demons. It will give you so much information about demons, about actual vampires that really existed on Earth and their origin, about the origin of the giants, even the origin of the Greek and Roman gods of mythology. I'm telling you, it's a heavyweight episode. Go check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let me know down in the comment section what you think. As always, up to you. Make up your own mind. Right? I'll give you information. Free of charge. It's here for you. You decide what to think of it. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Till we speak to you again, love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do we. Bye-bye.